everyone, welcome to another round of Chitter Chatter. Today we're going to chit chat with author Devika on her current book, The Mind Game. Well, this book is all about controlling your mind. Just imagine if you could control your mind and be in a happy space, achieve success and a lot more. How happy would you feel? Hey Simple, how are you? Congratulations on your new restaurant, Bauji. And let me tell you, Mind Game is a very simple book. A book that you should read at a slow pace and at the same time, just gather all the information that she has. Besides, she's going to explain you everything in a very simple way. But besides that, it also has a go-to action. The actions that you should take to follow what all she wants to say. And today on this Chitter Chatter, I am all excited because there's so much that I want to ask her. There are so many questions that you all have sent in the moment the creative was up that we were having a chitter chatter. And if you all want to tell me anything more, please do send. Hey Devika, welcome to Chitter Chatter.
Hello, Shweta. Good evening to all the viewers, and I hope you are having a lovely Sunday till now.
And now it's going to get better because they're going to know how to control the mind and know all about the mind game.
Yeah, specifically, I'm really happy that you are liking the book. Yeah.
Oh, I enjoy the book because the way you've written the book, you have actually started from a very simple thing about emotions and with stories about people and then what belief systems are, and you've divided it like there is theory to it, there are fables to it, and then there is a go-to action. So it's like a Bible for the mind right now. Like if you want to know to control your mind, to do the mind game, the Bible for it is The Mind Game by Author Devika. Like I don't think you need anything else.
Thank you so much.
Devika, I have spoken a lot about the book and I'm also going to be putting up the review, but can you tell the viewers a little about the mind game from your side?
Okay, yeah, so the mind game is basically what reviewers have said and what readers have said. I'm going to say that first because they have said that it is not a preachy guide, it is not like a preachy self-help book, but it is basically a go-to guidebook. If you are feeling low, it acts as a friend for you who will just listen to you. So that is what the readers have told me, and my objective of writing the mind game was basically telling people that mental important and you should focus on your mental health as well and should not ignore it. It's okay, physical health is fine, but mental health is something you should take care also.
So when did you decide that, mental wellness is so important that you wanted to write a book and educate people on it?
So basically it was a conscious decision, and I decided in 2016, I started my research in 2016 when I spoke to a lot of counselors, a lot of psychologists, and I came to know that the situation is pretty bad in India because for every 1,000 people, there is one counselor or one like psychologist. That is a very, very dismal state in such a big country like India. And through my findings, it was a conscious research, and it took me 1.5 years to research for this book, and finally 2018 it was published.
And what is the mind for you? If you had to explain the mind in a sentence, what would it be?
I was a very fickle-minded person. I was like, okay, this, that. It was very tentative. My days were very tentative. But yes, after writing the mind game and after practicing self-awareness and self-love, basically I have sort of got a control on my life now. Right now, my impulsive mood swings are very little, and I am more balanced nowadays.
So what are some, like you must have got some crazy questions also because, the mind is like a universe. There is so much, though you've covered almost everything. I mean, I didn't have any question after I finished reading the book. I had a lot of questions before I started reading the book, though. So, what were some crazy questions that were asked to you by some reviewers or somebody who got the book, or somebody who just heard the title?
Many people thought that I have been like other self-help books. I am also giving a lot of tips and I am also giving a lot of yarn. So they said, is it another book of yarn? I am like, that is something you have to read. And once they read it, then they said, no, no, it is no yarn, it is practical advice. So, and many people wanted to, okay, I think my voice is low. 1 second. Can you hear me now clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. I think it
Okay,
is,
then
yeah.
no problem. Okay, so that is what I was saying, that people basically asked me that why is such a topic, because there have been so many authors like Robin Sharma. There are other authors who are successfully uh, publishing books in this genre. So why did I select this genre? So my basic answer was that I felt I was passionate about mental health, and I really wanted to care for people and really wanted to help out people. But it is not possible to help each and every one person in person. So I thought, if the book can help people, that will be very good. And I must tell you that during the pandemic, the book has helped a lot of people. The lot of people have messaged me on Instagram saying that it was a blessing in disguise for them. So I feel I have done my part. Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing because if you can help even one person, it is like mission successful. And there are like lot many people. So what were the reviews that you've received and how often do you check the reviews?
Could you repeat the question?
I said, that how often do you check the reviews and what are the reviews that you've received?
Okay, so I am not a very frequent. I don't check the reviews frequently. It's like I have a routine for that, and it actually what happens is basically reviews are basically feedback, right? And if the feedback is something, it can be positive or negative, and I welcome both. So for me, it is like I am happy that people are reading the book. Reviews are okay, but I am not very serious about those. But yes, I am very happy that the book is reaching a lot of people, and a lot of people are reading it. Yeah.
So somebody asked me, ma'am, can you show the cover of the book? Well, because it's a selfie
Yeah.
thing, it shows ulta, but this is how it is, the mind game. And I will also put a picture so that you can see the actual cover of the book, though I had put it in the creator. And besides that, after our Chitter chatter, you can go and order your copy online and do let us know how you like the book. I hope the book helps you all to control your mind and play the mind game. Also, Devika, tell me, it is not a Gyan book. Like the reviewers and bloggers have told you, the best part is that, it's not preachy. It's fun to read. At the same time, it's something that you can read. Like, at least I enjoyed reading it at a very slow pace because I didn't want to, just go through it. I wanted to simmer every thought that you've written. So, was it a conscious decision to have it like with simple steps, with an action plan to it?
So I'm a very impulsive writer. I don't think much before uh, before writing. So it is like basically there was no plan as such. I had just written down the outline and the topics which I wanted to cover. So what happened was, as and when the content kept flowing naturally, it was very difficult to end a chapter because I had more to write. So I had to consciously decide to end the chapter, and I think my editor helped a lot, Humera. She helped a lot in deciding what is the correct ending point. Yeah.
So it's direct Shah here is saying, to be honest, it really helped me during pandemic. The mind game is a must read, guys. Do read it. I totally second that. And I also think that, if we could just control our mind, we could control our life in a very better way and could enjoy every moment that we are living. So yes, I do second her completely here that do buy your copies and do read it. Also, Devika, tell me, what did you discover in yourself while writing this book?
So there were a lot of discoveries. Self-discovery was a great learning while I wrote the book because first of all, I realized that what I am as a person, what is my true personality, and I had temper issues earlier. So while writing, I realized that yes, I have found a mechanism to control my anger and cope up with situations in life. So I think it was a great lesson for me because through my research I discovered myself.
Wow. And I'm sure a lot of people will have a lot more discoveries when they're reading that. Like I had a lot of belief systems that I had to recheck and, work on because sometimes we tend to neglect those things. But when we're reading a particular book, it's that time, those beliefs surface and you're like, okay, you know what? This needs to be sorted and this needs to be healed or this is something I need to work on. And like you've given action plan, so it becomes a little easier. You have a blueprint what to do if it gets discovered that okay, this is it. So do you have any particular habit that you practice on daily basis to tame your mind?
Yes. So, like I have, like one of the tips that I have mentioned about anger management, it is basically like an advice my grandmother had given. So, whenever I used to get angry, my grandmother used to say, count backwards from 100 to 1. And by the time I reached 95, I used to see the anger has disappeared. So that is one of the tips I follow even now till date. And another tip that I follow is self-love and self-care, and even journaling, creative journaling. So I am an avid reader. I listen to music, and I am also a theater artist. So I am an actor as well. So I use creative art forms in order to like divide my energies uh, fruitfully. Yeah.
Also, let me tell you all, this is her current book, but there are past books that she's written, and she also writes a lot of poems. How difficult was it to write the mind game for you?
It was difficult because I had first of all it was a non-fiction book and it was my first like plunge into the publishing industry, proper publishing industry, because before that I had self-published on Kindle. So that I was like pitching to a publisher. The whole publishing journey was a very great learning experience for me. And more than that, writing the mind game, because uh, having that belief that your content will be consumed by the public is something which I had a little bit of apprehension about. But then I also heard few other popular writers, best-selling writers, authors, who said that never care about the numbers when you are writing the first draft. First draft is from your heart. So write from your heart. And that is what I tell the aspiring writers as well, that write from your heart. The editor is there to do the chopping, refining, and make it publishing ready.
So like you mentioned, that earlier you had your books published on Kindle and this was your publishing thing. But as a writer from Seven Vows of Marriage to the Mind Game, how do you think you've progressed when it comes to being the writer?
As a writer, definitely, because Seven Vows of Marriage was very, very blunt and very. I was not. I say that people say you were very blunt in that book, and I had shared my thoughts on institution of marriage as a whole and how the institution has evolved through the years. But a mind game. I was conscious enough that it should not become preachy, it should not become an academic book, and it should remain engaging. That was a challenge for me to write in a style which will be engaging. So that's why I have included stories also.
You've also included a lot of quotes. What is your favorite quote?
I beg your pardon.
I said you have included a lot of quotes also in the book. So, what is your favorite quote?
The one where the first one, unexpressed emotions never die. They lie under your subconscious and come out in evil forms.
In fact, the way you started the book about the story of the couple itself was so like touching that it just gets you hooked. Like, like that story itself is still with me. And then, from there onwards, obviously, I would like to speak a lot more, but I want my viewers to get the copies, read and review it, and tell us what they like. So I'm going to like refrain from saying anything else. I'm going to go on my next question. So, what are your steps to do emotional mastery of your mind?
Ah, okay. That's a nice question. I have to think about it. Yeah, so the things I do to keep my mind in a balanced state. One is listening to music. I also write. So I generally scribble poems when I am in a low mood, or I read something. Yeah. So basically, creative art forms of any kind comes to my rescue.
And now, before I get on to our last segment of Chitter Chatter, do you have your copy around so that we can have a selfie moment?
One second, I will have to get it. One second. I'll just bring it.
So while Devika goes and gets her copy, guys, in case you've missed any part of the the Chitter Chatter is going to be on IGTV, YouTube, and Spotify, so you can catch it live there. And besides that, in case you want to tag your friends to know all about mind games, you know where to tag them. And now is our selfie time. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now getting on to the last segment. Are you ready? It's a rapid fire kind of a round. I'm going to ask you some basic questions to know you more as an author and as a reader. And there we start. Your favorite author?
Ruskin Bird.
Your favorite book?
Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist.
Your favorite book as a child?
Arkinara and Malgudi Days.
Favorite memory of reading?
Favorite memory of?
Reading.
Favorite memory of reading, getting lost in thoughts while reading The Alchemist.
Your favorite reading time?
Afternoon.
Your favorite line from your own book?
Lines of my?
Your favorite line from any of your the books that you've penned down? So a favorite line from one of the lines that you've written.
Oh, okay. So it is not a line from a book, but it is a line which I heard from a theater actor. He had come for a workshop. So Sachinji had come. So Sachinji had come for a workshop, and he had said, doing what you like is freedom. Freedom, liking what you do is happiness. So this has stuck on to my life. Like it is like stamped in on my mind. So whatever I do now is for my happiness.
Series or a standalone?
I beg your pardon.
Series or a standalone?
Oh, standalone.
Your paperback or audiobook?
Paperback.
Prose or poetry?
Poetry.
Reading with music or reading in silence?
Reading in silence.
Indoor or outdoor?
Indoor.
Coffee shop or home?
Home.
Read one.
I didn't get the last question.
Read once.
I didn't get the last.
Read once
Read
or
once.
reread.
Read once.
Reviews or lengthy reviews? Mini reviews or lengthy reviews?
Could you come again?
Mini reviews or lengthy reviews?
Okay. Honest reviews. Number doesn't matter.
That's fantastic. That's true. Nothing better for a creative person to get an honest review about their work. So that that is exactly what is loved and what is not loved, and you can work on it. So I totally agree. Honest review is the best thing that one can get. Your last read.
I couldn't hear.
Your last read.
My last read, okay, I'll show you.
You'll have to tell us because again.
Okay, so Frederick Forsyth is a like crime fiction, and he has written The Fist of God. So it's very good, and he's a fantastic storyteller. So read the story.
How many books you read at once?
Okay, once in a week, I can say in a week I can finish 3 to 4.
Would you leave a book in half or you have to finish it?
No, I have to finish. I don't keep it half.
And Hidden Locket is asking, as an author, what do you think differentiates your book from others?
Okay, what differentiates, like I said, it is not preachy. Like a lot of readers have said, it is not preachy. It is not like other self-help books. It does not qualify as a self-help book, but it is a guidebook for creating self-awareness. That is the USP. Yeah.
And lastly, how is it being on Chitter Chatter with Shweta Roida?
I love the conversation, and Chitter Chatter is a fantastic show. Thank you for inviting me. I have watched previous episodes also, and I wish you all the best for your upcoming shows. I am very high, and I am highly thrilled I am on the show, and I have got a chance to talk to you. So it's my honor.
Oh, it's an honor for us too to have you here and to talk about the mind game. And thank you, Devika, for being here. And thank you for writing such a lovely book where we could tap our mind, because mind is the most important part of our body and who rules our lives. So thank you once again. And guys, do get your copy of The Mind Game and do let Devika know an honest review on how you like the book. So thank you, Devika, and wish you and all the viewers a very happy weekend.
Thank you. Thank you so much.